No one would want to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa if it wasn't leaning, and no one would care about this clock if it wasn't so drunk. In many ways, clock towers are wonderful relics of the past. Most come from a time where we didn't all have clocks on our walls, our bedsides, our wrists, or of course on our phones. They allowed everyone in the far past to be able to keep track of the time, not only thanks to the actual clock face, but thanks to the bongs that went off every hour. As clock towers are fairly unique buildings, they tend to be more beloved than other buildings out there, and in some cases become symbols for an entire nation. Our love of clock towers can even be seen in the silly names we have given many of them. Of course, quite possibly the most famous clock tower in the world is affectionately known as Big Ben, which kind of isn't its actual name, it is a whole thing. Yet there are other clock towers out there that have received nicknames too, like Birmingham's Joseph Chamberlain Memorial Clock Tower, which is simply referred to as Old Joe. Yeah, the UK really does have two different clock towers called Big Ben and Old Joe. That sounds like two regulars at the pub or something. Hey Big Ben, hey Old Joe, another pint? Oh yes please. And then Big Ben and Old Joe just drink lots of pints and don't call their wives or anything. Yeah, that's kind of the image I've got in here, but you know, it's all very British. The UK, however, is not the only country to give its clock towers nicknames. Cork in Ireland is home to the clock tower of St Anne's Church. This one has become known as the Four-Faced Lyre, down to the fact that each of its four faces tell slightly different times. However, one of the strangest nicknames a clock tower has received, in my estimation, actually resides in the country of Serbia, specifically in their town of Petrovaradin. Apologies about my pronunciation there. I don't speak Serbian, I'm afraid. But this town is actually part of the wider city of Novi Sad today. Petrovaradin is famed for a fortress in the town, which has been of strategic importance for centuries. Construction started on this fortress in 1692 and wouldn't be completed until 1780. During this period of construction, a clock tower was installed there. This shouldn't really come as a huge surprise. It makes all the sense in the world why a clock would be installed here, especially prior to the advent of personal watches and clocks as previously mentioned. One source said the clock tower was erected specifically in the 1750s. At first glance, this clock tower isn't anything special. It's fairly small, white with a copper roof, with a large black clock face with right Roman numerals etched into it. Officially, the clock tower is called the Petrovaradin Clock Tower, which in all honesty isn't that weird. But remember, today we aren't looking at clocks with weird names, but instead weird nicknames. And this clock has earned for itself the nickname of Pijani Sat, which translates into meaning the drunk clock. Yeah, even this one's name relates to drinking too much at the pub or something. Man, someone should make a pub called the Drunk Clock where Big Ben and Old Joe can be regulars, but that's a tangent. But why on earth is this clock referred to as being drunk? Well, before we answer that, I'd like to briefly talk about Patreon and Super Thanks. Patreon is the best way to financially support Name Explain, and donating just $1 a month gets you ad-free videos, a chance to say what names get explained, an exclusive monthly newsletter, and your name at the end of these videos. All of that can be found at patreon.com/Name Explained, which will be linked down below. Conversely, if you want to just make a one-time donation, you can leave a super thanks directly in the comments section of any of my videos here on YouTube. They help out tremendously too. Thank you. And if by any chance you didn't see the announcement video I posted on Sunday, then boom! My new book is coming out soon, Immigrant Tongues, exploring how languages moved, evolved and defined us. This is my new big project. I've been working on this thing for years and oh my gosh, I'm so excited to finally have it for you guys to read out there. This book details the migration of languages all across our world, from places like English arriving in the USA, French in Canada, Spanish across the Americas, Latin spread across Europe in the far past, Arabic across North Africa, and even smaller migrations like how Japanese ended up in Palau, Welsh in Argentina. It's all covered in this book. It's more or less a history of the world told through language migration. It is like an absolute passion project of mine. I've put so much hard work and energy into this, and if you enjoy my videos, especially my videos about languages moving around the world, then this book would be perfect for you. Honestly, I'm just so happy to finally have it really, and finally be able to share it with you all. It's releasing on the 12th of August in the USA and at a later date around the world. There'll be links down below to where you can pre-order it for yourself from Amazon, but it's also available in most places you buy books from. So please do consider buying yourself a copy because I don't know, I love this thing. I just want as many people to read it as possible because it's brought me immense joy to read it. I've read it quite a lot, and surprisingly, I got these copies of the book and I was like, oh, I want to sit and read it, but I've actually already read it like 4 or 5 times just for the proofreading aspect, let alone writing it. So I'm like, I might wait a little bit to actually read it again and just enjoy it as a book as opposed to seeing it as something I created. But yeah, looking forward to some fresh eyes getting on it though. You guys are reading it. Thank you all so much. If you pre-order a copy, it'll make me so happy. And yeah, please do. Thank you so much. Anyway, on with the video. But with a Patreon plug and a book plug aside, we established that this fairly run-of-the-mill looking clock is known as the drunk clock. But why exactly is that the case? From pictures, it literally looks like the most generic clock tower in the world. Well, the reason it has this nickname stems from something that isn't too easy to deduce in pictures alone. Of course, the main point of a clock tower, other than to look pretty and to go bong, is to tell the time. And that is something this clock tower struggles to do. This clock is seen as being drunk for a couple of reasons. First off, its mechanics are far from the best. The main timing mechanism which moves the clock's hands are incredibly sensitive to changes in weather. And this clock happens to be located somewhere with a rather large climate range, with the hottest ever recorded temperature in the city being 41 degrees and the lowest being -30. That's in Celsius, by the way. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but just stop using Fahrenheit, guys. Like, I'm normally pretty cool with like Americans using different things, but Fahrenheit is just silly and stupid. Just stop it. But anyway, this causes all kinds of havoc to the clock itself. When it's cold out, the clock runs minutes behind, and when it's hot out, the clock runs way too fast. Suffice to say, having a clock that changes speed depending on the weather isn't the best, and is a key reason why it's considered to be drunk. And even when the clock is running at the right speed, there's still an issue with it. The reason it's seen as being drunk is because the size of the hands are the wrong way around. The hour hand is longer and the minute hand is shorter. That means that in this picture, the time isn't 10 to 9, it's actually 20 to 10. Just a bit confusing to say the least. At least I think that's right. Honestly, I've actually always really struggled my entire life to tell the time on a normal clock face. Like, even when I was taught at school when I was a little kid, I was like, that means nothing to me. I can even to this day when I look at a normal clock, I'm like, think it's 4:45 maybe. I'm honestly, it's something I'm really bad. I'm so heavy digital clocks are way more commonplace because otherwise I'd be screwed. So I might be wrong with that one. But the hands were apparently made in reverse order to make it easier for sailors out at sea to be able to tell the time. And I guess there is some logic to that, but many other clocks around the world aren't reversed and sailors seem to manage, I suppose. But between the fluctuating speed of its hands and the fact the hands themselves are the wrong way around, it makes sense why this clock is seen as being drunk. You know what? Maybe they should actually fix all these issues with the clock. But seemingly, it's one of Petrovaradin's most beloved tourist attractions. Like, it has 13,000 reviews on Google Maps. Can you imagine a clock having that many reviews? I wonder how many Big Ben has. I can't check right now, but someone go let me know down below. And I doubt that many people will be interested in this clock if, it actually worked. Kind of like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Like, if it was just a tower, it'd be like, oh, that's nothing. People like the quirky, weird things that aren't quite right. And this is a prime example of that. No one would want to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa if it wasn't leaning, and no one would care about this clock if it wasn't so drunk. This is definitely one of the weirdest clock tower names out there. So go home Piani Sat, you're drunk. But let me know about any other interesting clock tower names I might have missed out on. Also, please suggest a topic down below which we could cover in next Monday's Name Explain video. It could be about literally anything, and the topic can be as niche or broad as you like. I will then choose 3 of those topics and place them on a poll for my patrons to vote on. Then the winner from that poll will be the topic covered in next Monday's Name Explain video. You can vote in that poll, as well as enjoy many other great benefits by visiting patreon.com/Name Explained, which will be linked down below, and by donating just $1 a month. Thank you. And of course, don't forget to pre-order your copy of my latest book, Immigrant Tongues, because that would be lovely as well. Ta! Anyway, that's more than enough for myself. But don't forget to go follow me on Instagram where I'm Name Explain YT, and don't forget to join the Facebook page, Friends of Name Explain, where you can chat with myself and many other name nerds. Okay all, take care. My god, someone's just listed names of different clocks. I was like, how the hell do I make that into an interesting video? And I googled like weird clock names, weird clocks with weird names, and this one about a drunk clock came up. So I was like, can I stretch that into a whole video? Let's find out. Oh, something else. This isn't in the actual script, but after the Patreon plug, I'm going to do a book plug. The new book's out by the time this video is live. The announcement for it will have gone live as well. If you look on the channel right now, you'll see the announcement video. It's going out on Sunday. Should we begin? I believe that J is silent. Piani, not Pijani. Piani Sat. Right, so now it's time to plug the new book. I'm just trying to think what I'm actually going to say right now. And even when the clock is running at the right speed, it's because the size of the hands are the wrong. Oh my God. Why did I clap there? I never clap at the end. I'm going to do another book plug, by the way. Take care. Oh, we're done. Cool. I normally say something now, but I don't have anything to say. So yeah, I'm just going to hang up. Bye, Amber. Thank you.